2007, John and Terry Levin helped launch a new vision for public service at Stanford Law School. Through the endowment of the John and Terry Levin Center for Public Service and Public Interest Law, dedicated and targeted resources were brought together to support students, alumni, and faculty who share a goal of using law for the public good. To the Levins, the core value of service is inextricably embedded in a satisfying legal career, regardless of pathway or platform. The Levins' mandate was clear: inculcate a bedrock understanding of service and responsibility, empower students and graduates to direct their own careers and make informed choices, harness resources to support those dedicated to careers in public service, and reinforce the development and health of the public interest legal field.
Even before I arrived at Stanford Law School, I'd heard about the remarkable work of the Levin Center and Stanford's growth in support for students interested in public interest careers. When I landed at Stanford, I was able to see firsthand the role that the Levin Center plays in the life of the law school and the ways in which it emphasizes service for all of our students over the life of their careers, regardless of their primary career path.
Diane Chin actually came in during one of our little orientation roundtables and said, "Don't ever check who you are at the door when you start here." And, you know, it kind of registered with me to some degree then, but having spent about a year and not even a half here now, I believe that that's exactly what the Levin Center provides for you, this outlet to continue being connected to your community, to not forget who you are when law school can so often do that. Not in a bad way, just in the way that any kind of really elite, profound education can do for you.
I think when I was an undergrad, I learned how to be critical. And I think that that's one thing we're taught through our academic experience really well how to do. I think that the Levin Center asks us to not just be cynical about the problems that we see in our society, but they ask us to think creatively and responsibly and humanely about ways that we could contribute to solutions.
When the Levin Center began, the law school had a fledgling pro bono program. In 10 years, that program has burgeoned into 16 law school-supported pro bono projects, alternative spring, winter, and summer break trips, and majorities of each graduating class now achieve pro bono distinction.
So my most memorable experience through the Levin Center was actually the opportunity to coordinate as a student coordinator and attend an alternative spring break trip to the American South. So many immigrant and detainees overlap with the Latino community. I was able to directly speak with members of what I consider to be my community, the greater Latino community. And I mean, I'm not sure that we gave them anything besides the vaguest sense of hope, but for me it was cathartic and challenging and painful and rewarding. When we were having the Public Service Awards dinner, I told U.S. Secretary of Labor Tom Perez about this, and he told the Levins rather, that when you're lighting a fire like this, you're lighting it forever, and I totally believe that's true.
I've been working with Mike to create a new pro bono project that will provide legal services to activists in the Bay Area, and so being able to work with him on that has been wonderful.
Beyond pro bono, the staff of the Levin Center, which is made up of extraordinary practitioners and leaders in public interest law, has always understood that there's no one path to service.
Taking up John and Terry Levin's challenge to help SLS students and graduates make informed choices, the Levin Center puts on upwards of 100 programs every academic year, is committed to individualized counseling and support for students and alumni, and has grown a public interest alumni mentoring program to include over 500 SLS graduates.
Like John and Terry at the law school, we're always trying to ask the big questions about what we can do and what we can do better for our students and for the profession. The unique thing about the Levin Center is it encourages our students to ask those very big questions about themselves and the lives they want to have in their professions, and also helps them to figure out the answers to those questions and find the strategies necessary to advance the goals that they have that are meaningful and important to them.
One of the main benefits you have to having something like the Levin Center is having people who've practiced in public interest law and know answers to questions that you don't know to ask yet.
Everyone there is so incredible, and it's such a wonderful and supportive place, and makes it really possible to go through Stanford and be committed to public interest and come out the other side feeling like that's a real possibility and really be able to achieve all of the things that that I came to law school to be able to do in the first place.
Even if you make a 20-minute appointment and you end up staying for an hour, they never make you feel rushed. They answer all of your questions and follow up with you immediately, read resumes on short notice. They are just super helpful and make you feel really supported, and like everything they're offering you is really individualized to your own questions and interests.
Mike also sat me down prior to me starting OCI to go through all of the various firms in Southern California, which is where I want to work, and how they handle pro bono projects and matters, and like where I might find the best fit for myself and my interests, and putting me in touch with various pro bono directors at those locations so I could talk to them about what it would look like to work there.
The law school has made great strides in providing advice and guidance to those students who want to pursue public interest practice straight out of law school, and to the graduates who want to transition from private practice. Since 2007, 172 graduates have earned postgraduate fellowships and entry-level government honors jobs. Dozens more have directly entered public service practice upon graduation by becoming public defenders, district attorneys, and associates in private public interest law firms.
The Levin Center supported me as I navigated the public interest job search, and really I can say without hesitation that I would not be where I am today in my dream job, where I get to work with and represent immigrant women workers every day, without the Levin Center. Especially as a first-generation student whose parents not only didn't graduate from law school but didn't go to college or high school, the support that the Levin Center offered me was invaluable.
When I first came to law school, it quickly became confusing what I was supposed to do, what everybody else was doing, trying to figure out, should I clerk, should I join the law review, what should I exactly do? And having something like the Levin Center and the staff there who were warm, receptive, willing to talk to us at any point in time, willing to specialize and tailor our conversations and our goals so that they weren't boilerplate plans for our future was really crucial for me. And even now, 10 years into my career as well, so my 10 years out of law school tracks the 10-year anniversary of the Levin Center, I'm still receiving support from everyone there. I'm part of this leadership training program, which is making me rethink the next stage in my career.
The staff at the Levin Center is incredibly dedicated, incredibly hardworking, incredibly kind. Their passion for what they do is infectious and is a daily inspiration.
The law school has also developed dedicated funds to provide its own postgraduate fellowships. In 2008, in partnership with SPILF, the law school supported just one fellow. In 2017, we funded 10 fellowships, including 2 dedicated to criminal defense and justice work, and 3 for graduates to work in international law.
The Levin Center staff counseled me through finding internships every summer and preparing fellowship applications when I was ready to look for a job post-graduation. But most recently, my contact with the Levin Center staff has been through Diane and Mike and TT's program Developing Nonprofit Leaders, where I meet with lots of other SLS alums doing nonprofit work in the Bay Area and talk about the challenges facing nonprofit leaders and develop skills to become more impactful. I don't know if I really understood the depth to which Diane and TT and Mike would make themselves available years into our careers after leaving the law school to those of us who are making decisions about our organizations and about our own careers. And so I'm going to continue to knock on the Levin Center's door for decades to come because they were valuable resources to me in law school for sure, but they continue to be among the most valuable resources I have as a young lawyer.
The Levin Center staff never lets go. It invests in the broader field in many ways, through research and through convenings, but its primary investment is made in the continuing support it provides to Stanford Law School graduates.
The Levin Center has really been integral, I would say, to my career, starting when I was in law school and going through the present day. Have always come back to Stanford and the Levin Center for that advice, input, and support.
10 years of impact is just the beginning.
In 10 short years, the Levin Center has had an enormous influence. Its impact has been broad and deep and wide. It's changed the lives of our graduates. It's changed the national legal public service community, and it's helped train a generation of public interest lawyers and leaders who are going to shape the profession for years to come.
Thank you so much to the Levin family for the opportunities that you've provided me here at Stanford Law School. And as I said before, the relationships I've been able to build are because of you and because of the capacity that this group has to really uplift student work, student activities, student development, and the idea of what it means to work with the public interest, not only within the law, but also in the community at large.
I want to thank John and Terry Levin so much for all of the opportunities that they have given me here at Stanford. My interactions with the Levin Center have been among the highlights of my SLS experience, and for that I am incredibly grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John and Terry Levin, for creating an amazing center.
Thank you, John and Terry Levin.
To John and Terry, thank you so much for funding the Levin Center and all the great work you've done supporting us here. I think your support has been absolutely critical in ensuring that Stanford students like me have the opportunity to really pursue our dreams as public interest attorneys and have the resources and support to make that possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John and Terry. I cannot even begin to explain how much I've loved and appreciated having the Levin Center during my time here, and I am so grateful to both of you for making that possible.
Thank you, John and Terry Levin.
Thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you so much for supporting Stanford Law School. I really appreciate everything you've done to support our community here.
John and Terry, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your wisdom, your generosity, and your extraordinary and inspiring example to us all.
Thank you, John and Terry.